Hold on. Let me just excuse the mess, okay? Let's just not. Before we get into this video, I have a new introduction to the channel. It is a very special addition to our exquisite setup. This addition right here, it means a lot. And it's from a very special somebody, and I appreciate the gift. Just wait. Just wait. Y'all ready? Wait, time out now. Hold on. Is that a little distracting? I don't. Yep, hold on. Let me get it to focus on it. I know it's gas. I know. That's what I was saying. That's why I had to give it a whole introduction. I couldn't just put it in a video and just let it just. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. If your day's not going good, I hope tomorrow is better. And click the subscribe my notification bell or subscribe. Thank you for your loyalty. In this video, this is long overdue. I was been supposed to do this video, but I kind of got sidetracked with a bunch of other videos posted for y'all, yada yada. But I'm getting to y'all now, so that's what really matters. So in this video, we're gonna be talking about the good things about being self-employed. Because the last video I did, it was the ugly shit about being self-employed. It was really the cons about being self-employed, but I don't want that to steer y'all in the wrong direction of wanting to pursue any type of passion that involves anything under self-employment, because there's some good things about this. There's a lot of good things about this, like for specific people. We gonna get into that though. So y'all already know, kind of videos like this, notes. I will never steer you in the wrong direction. Come on, man. I'm not just willy-nilly, gilly-gaggling. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm actually so sorry. Like, I don't know. So there's about 5 to 6 things on this list, and they're in no particular order, honestly, in terms of the best good thing. Just, you know, the way I thought about it. So jumping right into this, just like I spoke about in the bad things about being self-employed video, I spoke about how there's a double-sided coin to one of the cons about being self-employed, how there's also a pro to it, which is creating your own schedule. Now, I say that's a pro and a con, and I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all could have already picked up on that because some people lack a certain amount of discipline. So a tight schedule is something that they need. If they're creating their own, it may not be the best fit for certain types of people. But in this case, since we're talking about the pros, if you are that type of person that can hold yourself accountable and can become very disciplined, making your own schedule is something that will be very beneficial to you. Now, along with creating your own schedule, other than the fact of the whole discipline thing, it allows you to have a life. It allows you to have a social life, a personal life, whatever the case may be, and it allows you to pace yourself, take breaks when you need, take time off when you need, you know? And it also, corresponding to that, allows you to work harder when you feel as though you can, when you need to, when you're in the when you got the urge to kind of just work, you know, you can do that. And I've had my low moments and my really, really high moments where it's like, okay, I'm gonna work. I'm gonna get this done, I wanna get this done, I wanna do this, I wanna do this. And I have times where I'm just like, all right, I kinda just wanna chill today. And there's no repercussions to either side. And I really appreciate that about being self-employed. That's something that I feel like a lot of people would and should, you know, appreciate about it. The next pro I would say about being self-employed would have to be you are working with a purpose. Now, I have nothing against 9 to 5s. Just so I'm not offending anybody, the jobs that I am referring to are the ones that are not particularly career paths. That's why I reference McDonald's, Target, you know, those are the type of jobs that I'm referring to when I say 9 to 5s. Because I understand it's a stepping stone for a lot of people. But when certain people treat it as a end-all be-all, that's where it's kind of an issue. For me, not for other people, because I understand some people need to make their money. It was never really too much, although I love money, I do. But when it came to working normal jobs, my first, I guess you would say, official job was at McDonald's, right? And I actually quit McDonald's because I was starting to pursue this. And after that, I started working at Target. And I loved that job. I loved everything about Target. And, you know, it's all personal experiences, but I love that I worked in tech at Target. I love everything about that job. But I ended up taking a little 2 to 3 month hiatus from the job because that was the year I was graduating high school. So focusing on school, work, and the company, it was taking a toll on me. So I had to drop something so that I could make sure I graduate high school. I ended up taking the break from Target. And when I ended up coming back 2 or 3 months later after I graduated high school, it just felt really pointless because for those 2 to 3 months, I was paying my own bills with just my company. And when I go back to Target, I'm just sitting there doing work for some other company that's doing nothing for me but putting money in my pocket. When it comes to you having your own company, it's a lot more than just putting money in your pocket. You're building something. There's a lot more to it than when you're just logging in hours benefiting some other company. right? So that's the way I used to think about it. I'm just sitting there working, majority of the time doing busy work, when I'm just like, I could be editing, I could be making a video, I could be jotting down plans, I could be getting more clients for shoots. And I'm just like, you know, this just feels pointless. Like the work just felt pointless, that there was no point to it. It felt purposeless. I was gonna make this a section, but I'm just gonna make this a subsection under this. Relating back to McDonald's, the one thing when I say like purposeless work, just the whole 9-to-5 scene, disrespect for managers. Like managers on power trips, and man, that's something that I personally, and I don't think anybody likes it, but me generally, I don't do well with people trying to talk down on me. I hate it. I really, really do. And that's one of the main reasons that pushed me to be self-employed. That is the reason I pushed to be self-employed, because of that experience I went through at McDonald's, just talking down on me as if they're better because of their, you know, position at the job. It's like, what are we talking about here? Mind you, these people were like a year or two older than me, you know. So that's one thing about being self-employed. You don't have to hear any BS from any higher ups or anything like that. You are your own boss. The next pro about being self-employed, and I really, really love this one, and this may be also one that pertains to a certain type of people, but I hope eventually it pertains to everybody. Your creativity is endless. Like what you want to do with your company is like the sky is the limit. And I'm not just saying that as a cliche, it truly, truly is. Because you could have the most outrageous plan and it can happen. And that's how you should do it. When you start your company, make a 5-year plan, a 5-year goal of where you want your company to be 5 years, and make it as outrageous and wild as possible. And then year by year, do the steps to get to that. And watch it happen. Because who's to say it can't? It's your company. It's your company, it's your life, you are in control. Who's to say it can't? And I find that to be truly, truly, truly amazing. And this isn't even just pertaining to photography, this is any type of self-employment. Like, and I find that to be super just, it makes you, well, it makes me work harder. It drives me. It's that one thing that's like, all right, bet, like, you know, when it comes to like certain jobs, you know, the certain things, like certain office jobs, I'll say, or just any type of jobs where you can get a promotion. It's that's that thing that drives them to work harder at the job because they want to get that higher position at their job, right? It's very similar to this, but I would say it's on a way bigger scale, because you know the end goal when you're working at like an office job or something of that sort, where you can get a higher position, when you can get promoted. You know the end goal, you know the cap, all right? This is where I'm aiming to be, and then, you know, once you get there, then what? You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to something like this, you can make your plan so outrageous to the point where it's like, there's so many milestones in between that one huge milestone. So it's like you're promotion on promotion on promotion on promotion until you get to that really, really huge promotion. And even when you get there, I would say by the time you get there, you should have even bigger plans. You know what I'm saying? Your creativity is endless. And you have to be super creative, and you have to be delusional in a sense to be self-employed. Realistically, like I promise you do. Another great thing about being self-employed is you could set up your retirement early. Like with most jobs, I think the retirement is like 50, 60, or somewhere around there, 40, 50, 60, somewhere around there. You start yourself, like most of the people watching me are like between the ages like 13, 18, 20, even so 21. You start in your company around that time, you give it 10 years, by the time you're 30, 35, you could set up your retirement, right? You could set up your company to the point where it's being managed by someone else, to the point where you could just be a silent partner at that point. Like you don't even have to be fully primarily involved in your company anymore. By the time you're 35, you give it 10 years of your life, 10 good solid years of your life, instead of giving 30 to 40 years of your life to a job before you can retire. And I feel like that's a great thing, because in 10 years, you can do a whole lot for your company. And then even if you want to stay, I mean, you're 35, you're still young, you can continue. But also some people want to start living their life young. Maybe you want to pursue something else. Maybe you want to start up another company. Who knows? You can set up that luxury for you. You have that flexibility, you have that leeway, because it's your company. You set it up however you want. The great thing about that, when a lot of people retire from certain jobs, it's really just them walking away from something that they gave thousands of hours to their life to. When it comes to your company, that's something you're always gonna be able to look back on. It's your legacy, you built it. And no matter what, you can always sit here and say, and look back and say, I did this, I built this. And the way of which you can just think, I don't know about y'all, I'm thinking huge when it comes to like the legacy and something you're leaving behind, something you can leave your kids behind. when it comes to your company, because it can become some of a self-employment, a LLC, to a corporation. So you just never really know what you can do with what you start. You know, you never really know what you can do with something that you can just build off of and build and build and build. You can just keep going. And literally, by the time you choose to retire, start a family, whatever the case may be, it can be still something, like I said, you're still a part of it. It's being managed on its own. By the time your kids are of age, you can pass that down to them. And there's your legacy right there. You feel what I'm saying? And I just feel like that's way, I don't know, when it comes to just employment versus self-employment, that is so much more able to be like appreciated. Because you've been employed all these years, you retired, you can't pass that down to your kids. You threw in hours and countless of just effort into this job. You can't pass that on. You get the money, sure, but you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's just where my mind goes when it comes to stuff like that. Now, one of the main things that I'm pretty sure a lot of people wanted to even hear when it comes to being self-employed, it wasn't even on the forefront of my mind. That's why it's in the back of this list. The earnings, the money, right? So majority of the time, depending on your self-employment, we're talking about photography here, but when it comes to photography, being self-employed, over time, it takes time, but the money is great. Don't get me wrong, this is also a double-sided coin. It can be low months, there can be bad months, but you play your cards right, the money can be great. The money can be amazing. And it can come in very fast, and it can come in large sums. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a huge pro to this. I talk to a lot of people about this, but something I appreciate about the way that the money can be good or bad, or whatever the case may be when it comes to self-employment, it's like you just never really know what the next month is gonna hold. And I feel like that's just really, really great for a certain type of people, because some people would love to know, all right, what's the next month gonna be? What's the month after that gonna be? I'm not the type of person. I don't know. Like, the fact that I don't know what next month is gonna be kind of keeps me on my toes. The one thing that kind of corresponds with that I really love, there can always be that one job that could just change your life. There could always be that one job that just changes everything for you, and you just never really know what's gonna come. And that's with anything. It's like a breakthrough. Your breakthrough job, your breakthrough client, your breakthrough, you just never really know. And I just find that to be really, really like amazing, because it could be tomorrow, it could be next week, it could be a year from now, you never really know. Last but not least on this list is going to be, which is honestly one of the most important on this list when people even think about being self-employed, is tax deductions. So when it comes to doing your taxes, you can get deductions on a lot, you can write off a lot, and it's very beneficial in America in today's society to have an LLC of some sort, because of tax reasons, you know? And I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm just gonna put the definition on the screen of tax deductions when it comes to being self-employed. And y'all can do your own research on that, but I'm just gonna say I've taken advantage of it for the past 2 years of being officially employed or self-employed. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think this was a super long video. I'm not really sure. I never know. I always say, but I never really know until I go and check. So I'm just gonna shut up. These are the type of videos that only really pertain to certain type of people. I see that they don't do as well, but I feel as though they still help a certain type of people, because this is something a lot of people want to know. I know a lot of y'all are younger and y'all are still in high school, and y'all still have the decision to make to even become self-employed after high school or whatever the case may be. And I feel like over time, these videos will help y'all. Although there's a lot of advice when it comes to being self-employed, but I feel as though, like I said, I'm really tapped in with the youth of the photography scene and videography scene. I feel like this is something y'all should, know. Because I wish, not that I wish I knew it, because this wasn't something I was really looking into, but the earlier you know this information, the better, quite literally. It helps you decide if it's something you want to do or not. So if I can help you out with that, then I'm just gonna keep on going. But y'all let me know if I helped y'all. Other than that, thank y'all so much for everything. Once again, thank y'all for 4,000 subs. It's honestly crazy. It's so weird. Everything is in the 4. Like, I'm at 4,000 subs on YouTube. I'm at 4,000 followers on Instagram, and I just hit 400 members in the broadcast channel. I did just hit 400 members, so we growing in there. I'm telling y'all, after y'all seen that rating video, people locked in and they joined that. Man, y'all, hey, y'all want to get y'all ratings. Y'all done submitted so many, it's like 50 emails. Oh my, whatever. Thank y'all so much for everything, man. I really do appreciate it. Y'all be making my day when it comes to just everything, how interactive y'all are on the broadcast channel, the comment section, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, everything. I appreciate it. I really, really do. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna check out the broadcast link in the description down below. Tap in, join. Then we'll check out the merch link in the description down below. And then we check out the preset link in the description down below. And other than that, thank y'all so much for everything. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to stay creative. See you next one. Peace.